Real talk, did 2020 actually happen? And yes, I recognize that the actual calendar year of 2020 was a real thing or whatnot, but how is it that so many content creators blew up on YouTube that year just to become irrelevant not even 4 years later? And before you say, I understand that all YouTubers eventually burn out given enough time, but trust me, 2020 was different, and throughout the video, you will see how and why that was. For most people, this video will probably be a trip down memory lane, but for viewers that weren't there for YouTube in 2020, here's how it went in a nutshell. Video pace got much faster, thumbnails became as bright as the sun, Mr. Beast unofficially overtook PewDiePie as the king of YouTube, and everybody started copying his style of video. Gaming made a comeback after a couple years of vlogging dominating the space, and since there was a pandemic locking everyone inside their homes, people watched YouTube like never before, which also turbocharged the careers of many up-and-coming YouTubers. Now, I'm sure I missed out on some stuff, but I really want to focus on the up-and-coming YouTubers to prove a point. These were some of, if not the biggest channels that blew up in 2020. Now, I want you to tell me what they all have in common. And if you thought of dwindled popularity of some kind, then you would be correct, as all of them except Mikangan are well past their primes. It's actually pretty unfortunate as well, as all of them for the most part trailblazed their own unique styles of content, but that actually brings me to my next point, as it was their uniqueness that eventually led to their downfall. The YouTubers I previously mentioned and many other YouTubers that sprouted up around 2020 were very driven and creative people and would most likely have found success in any field they went into. That being said, you can't deny the fact that at the very least their numbers were inflated because of the lockdowns that were happening at the time. And truth be told, I believe this is why so many creators from that time period aren't relevant anymore, for the simple reason that they never switched up their style because of their hyper success that they were receiving at the time. Their inability to switch styles made their fan bases bored, and since people weren't inside all day anymore, many casual viewers were also not watching their videos anymore. That's just the harsh reality, and unfortunately, if you're not switching up your content every couple years, you're probably
it's like,
not
I will never
growing.
stop learning and improving. And I'm going to look back at my content 3 years from now. I'm going to look back at the content I'm making today and probably say similar things like, oh, that was garbage.
I guess just to reassure people, yes, 2020 did happen, but the shifting culture of YouTube combined with the unprecedented circumstances brought on by the pandemic sure made it seem like it was all just a wacky fever dream. I think everybody that lived through 2020 can agree that it was a very unusual year, and even though for many it was a rather dark time period, for some, they recognized how they could use that year to their advantage and enjoyed increased demand funneling into their YouTube channels. I guess if there's any lesson to take from this video, it's that unprecedented circumstances give way to unprecedented opportunities. And even if those opportunities don't last forever, it sure is a good place to start from.